Yo, what's up guys, it's X-Rays, and welcome to a new episode of Gaming Nightmares. In the last episode, we covered the Polybius arcade cabinet, which was a mysterious cabinet that, upon multiple theories, was put by the government in order to manipulate people, send out subliminal messages, and possibly even have some sort of involvement with multiple people dying and having headaches. If you guys want to check that one out, a link to it will be down in the description below. You can also check the playlist annotation on the screen. Today we're going to be covering a really interesting and really requested creepypasta known as Ben Drowned. The creepypasta is very long, and in order for me to cover this all in detail, it's going to actually become a multi-part mini-series within Gaming Nightmares. This is going to be part 1, so hopefully you guys enjoy. But with that said, this is a really long story, so let's jump straight into it. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to slap a like and a favorite, and leave some comments down below on your thoughts so far at the end of the video. Now with that said, let's jump into the story. The story covers a character by the name of Jadusable, and he talks about a cartridge, a Majora's Mask cartridge, that ends up haunting his dreams. Let's jump into the story. Jadusable started by orienting the readers to his setting, a college dorm. A friend had recently given him an old Nintendo 64 packaged with Super Smash Bros. For his dorm's room. Out of boredom, he subsequently drove around the college neighborhood in search of more games. After purchasing 3 vintage Nintendo 64 titles from yard sales, he came across a strange house. A displeasing, seemingly blind old man greeted him outside the house and retreated inside after hearing that Jadusable was interested in buying old video games. Peculiar paintings were displayed on the man's yard table. Jadusable noticed that one of them resembles Majora's Mask, but does not think much of it. I'll admit, I jumped out of reflex and I laughed nervously as he handed me a Nintendo 64 cartridge. It was the standard gray color, except that someone had written Majora on it in black permanent marker. I got butterflies in my stomach, and I realized what a coincidence this was and asked him how much he wanted for it. The old man smiled at me and told me that I could have it for free, that it used to belong to a kid who was about my age and didn't live here anymore. There was something weird about how the man phrased it, but I didn't really pay attention then. I was too caught up in not only finding this game, but enjoying it for free. Fighting with inner skepticism, Jadusable takes the game back to his dorm, but not before thanking the man. He boots up the game at the college to find one save file, titled Ben. He is astonished to find a save file so close to completion and started up his own file. The gameplay was strangely fluid for a nondescript cartridge. Only textural problems are evident, and sometimes the NPCs called his character Link, and other times Ben. He decided to delete Ben's save file, but that did not help. The characters now called him Blank. It was just an empty space. He put the game down for the night. Upon picking the game up again the next day, he attempted to do the famous 4th day glitch, but it did not go as planned. His character appeared in the Majora's boss room with Skull Kid levitating above. Jadusable moved to press the reset button on the Nintendo 64 when the game flashed a quote, seemingly communicating with him. A choice option appeared next on screen, and upon selecting a choice, the game faded to black and Link appeared in a Twilight Zone, uninhabited clock town. I appeared in some kind of weird Twilight Zone version of Clock Town. I walked out of the clock tower, as you normally do when you start from day 1, only to find all of the inhabitants were gone. Usually, with the 4th day glitch, you can still find the guards and the dogs that run around the outside of the tower. This time they were all gone. What replaced them was an ominous feeling that there was something out there, in the same area as me, and that it was watching me. I had 4 hearts to my name and the hero's bow, but at this point, I wasn't even considered for my avatar. I felt that I personally was in some kind of danger. Perhaps the most chilling thing was the music. It was a song of healing, ripped straight from the game itself but played in reverse. The music would get louder, building up as if you should expect something to pop out at you, but nothing ever did. And the constant loop began to wear at my mental state. Every now and then I would hear a faint laugh of the happy masked salesman in the background, just quiet enough so that I wasn't sure if I was hearing things, but just loud enough to keep me determined to find him. I looked in all 4 zones of Clocktown, only to find nothing. No one. Textures were missing. West Clocktown had me walking on air. The entire area felt broken. Hopelessly broken. As the reverse song of healing repeated for what must have been the 50th time, I just remembered standing in the middle of South Clocktown realizing that I had never felt so alone in a video game before. At this point, Jadusable found that he was unable to leave Clocktown no matter how much he tried. He then saw a frightening clip of Link clutching his head, the face and the scream of the Happy Mask salesman, and eventually was being followed by the Link statue that could be summoned using the Elegy of Emptiness. Link was constantly followed by the statue. The salesman's head continuously flashed on screen. Link appeared back at the top of the clock tower where he would towards the end of normal gameplay at Majora's Mask. Before he could play his ocarina, Link busted into flames and died. As the death screen neared its end, it began to chug, as if the cartridge was trying to process a lot of something. When the screen came to, it was the same scene as the first 3 times, except this time Link was lying on the ground, dead, in a position that I had never seen before in the game. His head tilted towards the camera, with the Skull Kid floating above him. I couldn't move. I couldn't press any buttons. All I could do is just stare at Link's dead body. After around 30 seconds of this, the game simply faded out with the message, "You've met with a terrible fate, haven't you?" before kicking you out to the screen title. Upon getting back to the title screen and starting again, I noticed my save file was no longer there. Instead of Link, it was replaced with Your Turn. Your Turn had 3 hearts, 0 masks, and no items. I selected Your Turn, and immediately when I did, it returned to the clock tower rooftop scene of my Link dead and the Skull Kid hovering over, and the Skull Kid's laughing, looping again and again. I quickly hit the reset button, and when the game booted up again, there was one more save file added, below Your Turn, entitled Ben. Ben's save file is right back where it was before I deleted it, at the Stone Tower Temple with the moon almost crashing. This was the first post in a series of 5 different posts posted by him, in which he tells more about his story. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of the Ben Drowned Creepypasta. There's going to be one more part where I cover the rest of the story. Let me know your thoughts. Leave some comments down below. I was actually kind of freaked out as I was reading this story, and I'm still kind of getting a little bit of a chill. Anyways guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Gaming Nightmares. If you did, make sure to slap a like and a favorite on the video. It helps it get out there for more people to enjoy, and it shows me that you guys are enjoying this series. But anyways guys, until next time, remember to leave a like, a comment, and subscribe. I'm X-Rays, I'm out. Peace.